The headline from here is certainly that South Korea's president, Lee Jae-myung, is getting involved in this matter, telling his officials that, quote, all out necessary measures should be done to support Korean nationals.
If you're going to report anything to ICE, at least know the freaking name of it.
So I be wondering, do these damn Karens just wake up and be like, who life can I f today? Because did y'all hear about that lady that called ICE on the Hyundai plant workers? It was 450 workers. She done called ICE on them.
So there were 452 illegals apprehended at the Hyundai mega plant construction site yesterday near Savannah. And I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE. But it goes beyond just someone working illegally. Let me explain to you. These people are working for slave wages. Some are not getting paid. Some are being trafficked. They send money home to their country.
You didn't save them anything. You got 475 people arrested and thrown into detention. You made their lives infinitely worse.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, I'm sure most of you have by now heard about the trending topic where a white woman thought it twice to call ICE on a bunch of Asians, to be specific, Koreans who are working on a plant, a Hyundai plant.
Right, and she came online to tell on herself, thinking that she would garner a huge number of support from the internet community, only for the white and black population to dramatically turn on her.
Right, but guys, let's watch what was happening and then we come back and talk about it. Apparently, she's trying to run for office and she wants to run on a Republican ticket. Go figure, right? So, how did the internet receive her? Both black Americans and white Americans, even Korean Americans, were turning against her, and the expectation that she had was not quite what she was expecting people to react to, right? Let's watch and then we come back and talk about it. But let us know in the comment section what are your thoughts and opinion, and also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. Let's watch and then we come back.
Well, the headline from here is certainly that South Korea's president, Lee Jae-myung, is getting involved in this matter, telling his officials that, quote, all out necessary measures should be done to support Korean nationals in this matter and to resolve it as fast as possible. Now, the split screen from where he was just about 10 days ago is certainly dramatic, considering that he was at the Oval Office meeting with President Trump, talking about new investments that South Korea would make into a reality, making American shipbuilding again, improving investments in manufacturing in the United States. This battery factory, run by Hyundai as a joint venture with the other South Korean giant, LG, is certainly part of that narrative. And now, to see this operation, the biggest of its kind taken in the second Trump administration, it is so striking and has hit such an emotional chord with a multitude of people here in South Korea. Quite astounded that not just one or two or a few dozen South Koreans have been detained as part of this operation, but more than 300, a number confirmed by South Korea's Ministry of Foreign Affairs today. Along those lines, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has said that if this situation isn't resolved, he could conceivably go to Washington, D.C., saying in part, quote, as we discuss this issue further today, we are also considering dispatching a high-level official to the U.S. to address the situation. If necessary, I, meaning the foreign minister, am prepared to travel to Washington, D.C., personally to engage directly with U.S. officials to resolve this matter. Unclear at the moment what, if any, charges could be filed, will be filed, and how long will it take to release all 300 plus of these South Korean nationals. Again, hitting such a chord with people halfway around the world.
Let's take it from the top. It's not Hyundai, it's Hyundai. So if you're going to report anything to ICE, at least know the freaking name of it. Number two, in the first Trump administration, there was an agreement signed between Donald Trump and the South Koreans to bring some of their car manufacturing here to the United States. The South Koreans built a factory in the state of Georgia, and recently they have been adding to it, partnering with one of America's companies, LG, to produce electric vehicles, which would have brought billions to the state of Georgia and to the entirety of the United States and put a lot of people to work. Something you MAGA supporters are always complaining about. All of our manufacturing is being shipped overseas. And now that it's back in the United States, you want to open up your big fat Oopa Loopa mouth to ICE to get these people deported. And now all work has had to cease. And we've just damaged our relationship with one of our closest partners in Asia. I mean, do you people not think? It's this type of ignorance and silliness that got us Donald Trump in the first place, because you people just blindly do stuff. And now you just cost the state of Georgia jobs and money. I mean, what a stupid mother.
So there were 452 illegals apprehended at the Hyundai mega plant construction site yesterday near Savannah.
I can just imagine how that phone call went. You said, hey, I have a tip for the Hyundai in Savannah. And they were like, where? And you're like, the Hyundai. And then they were like, is that a hotel? Like, what is that, ma'am? And then you're like, Hyundai. And they're like, can you spell it for me? And that's how they got there. Because you are so intellectually lazy, you don't even know what the company's called. But anyways, I have a question. Have they picked you yet? Did you get an award or something? Oh, what am I even thinking? I keep forgetting that they reward for racist people like you, people who are so empty inside, people who really offer nothing to society, is just to see other people suffer. Your reward was really just knowing and going to sleep at night, knowing well that those people are probably going to be sent to countries where they've never been. They're probably said that Alligator Alcatraz is now closed and they're not gonna go there. And you try to double down on another video where you thought you ate, and you're like, oh, people who are upset about this don't pay taxes. I am an immigrant and I have paid collectively over $500,000 in taxes in the last 5 years. That's more money than you ever see in your whole life, and I stole your job. And I eat dogs and cats. Actually, I didn't steal your job because you would never be capable of doing my job.
So I be wondering, do these damn Karens just wake up and be like, who life can I fuck up today? Cause did y'all hear about that lady that called ICE on the Hyundai plant workers? It was 450 workers. She done called ICE on them. They done all came and ICE done detained them all. But I guess they had to be illegal immigrants for them to detain them all. But damn, why do people go out of their damn way to make somebody suffer? That's 450 families that they got out here that they not gonna come home to. That they gonna have to get a call and get the news that they father or uncle or brother or cousin ain't coming home. Because you just decided to wake the hell up and call ICE on the whole plant. And now they talking about South Korea mad. Why the hell people can't mind they damn business? That be taking it to, like, that's take 450 people.
South Korea said, hey, you're not doing that. We're going to charter a plane to bring our people home and make sure that they are safe. You're not about to sit here and play in our face and disappear our people like you're disappearing American citizens. Now, according to the New York Times, 475 people were detained during that raid at the Hyundai plant. 300 of them were South Korean citizens who were here on work visas to work and construct an expanded portion of the plant that supplies batteries and along with LG that's in that plant. Now, South Korea has said, okay, well, if you've got our people detained and you're going to keep them detained, we're not going to wait for you to charter a plane and send them to us. We are going to charter our own plane. We're going to come pick up our people and we're taking them back to South Korea. And that is the safest thing that they can do. Because if we leave this in the hands of the Chunky Milk administration, those people could end up anywhere. We have no idea where they would send them. Now, there's still no word on what's going to happen with the construction of the plant and the expansion of the facilities. Right now, everything is on hold. And again, I do not blame South Korea on that because South Korea, they have their interests to protect and they have their people to protect. And I'm seeing true leadership with the foreign minister of South Korea because he stood on business. He said, either I'm going to come over there myself and come get my people, or I'm going to charter a plane and my people are coming home.
I really don't understand the ICE raid on the Hyundai power plant. It's so comically illogical that my first thought was somebody close to Trump from within his organization is trying to sabotage him by giving stupid instructions to ICE. Because one of the main reasons for tariffs is to encourage foreign companies to operate in US soil. And not for nothing, like that's a valid way to use tariffs. All my liberal friends became like the most obnoxious version of someone who's taken Econ 101, like, oh, tariffs get passed straight to the consumer. No, sometimes companies like Hyundai decide to build a factory in the USA to get around the tariffs. I'm not bringing that up to say like the tariffs were like a win. I don't know what the net effect of that was. But Hyundai building a plant in the USA to hire US workers to produce batteries for them to sell, that is literally the textbook scenario of success with a tariff. Literally exactly what you want. And then he raids it with ICE and gets rid of the people. The Koreans were there to set up the factory, which is harder than working at the factory, right? Is setting it up for the first time, and then train US workers to do the job. I tend to give people credit. Like Trump winning the 2016 election, a lot of you are too young to remember this. Like in 2015, Fox News and the Republican Party did not like him. He had to beat the Republicans, and then he had to beat Hillary Clinton to become president for the first time. So I've never thought that he was dumb. I don't think he's a mastermind. Like, oh, 4D chess. Like, you know, like I've seen those memes, like his supporters. Like, I don't think that. But he's not dumb. But now I'm thinking that he might actually be. And everything else was like a crazy, happy, lucky accident. Like, that's very hard to believe. I think he was smart, and now his mind is starting to go. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what did he think was going to happen? Like, right or wrong, I can't even understand what his thought process was.
And shout out to the South Korean president who said, "You not finna walk of shame our goddamn nationals, bitch. You not finna see a video of South Koreans walking onto an airplane with their hands zip tied behind their back the way y'all do these people in these other motherfucking countries, bitch. We sending our own plane. Y'all shit's raggedy anyway. The fucking doors flying off in flight, bitch. That's the entertainment you provide. Life-altering experiences where you may fly out that hole while that bitch is in the sky. We don't need it. We'll be sending our own. Thank you so much."
DHS agents lining up workers at a Hyundai plant under construction near Savannah, Georgia, the largest single-site enforcement operation in Homeland Security history.
This operation underscores our commitment to protecting jobs for Georgians and Americans.
Officials say the majority of those arrested are South Korean nationals and worked for contractors and subcontractors, not for Hyundai directly. Hyundai posting it complies with, quote, all laws and regulations and will review its contractors.
This woman, who goes by the name Tori Brenham, is the reason why the ICE raid happened at the Hyundai facility in Georgia. Now, if you don't know who this woman is, she is running for Georgia's 12th congressional district as a Republican. And there is a huge Rolling Stone article confirming that it was indeed her. In this article, she talks about how she came in contact with a local Spanish-speaking union worker who had access to the site. And it was through this informant, Tori Brenham heard rumors that they were using undocumented labor on this facility. And she also heard rumors that 3 workers got unalived during construction. So Tori over here blew the whistle on the Hyundai facility over a rumor. And what's really crazy is that she is proud of what she did, because she is quoted by saying, "This is what I voted for, to get rid of a lot of illegals. And what I voted for is happening." But the problem is not everyone who was detained was undocumented. For example, 2 people who were detained were engineers from South Korea, and they came to the US to briefly advise on the work. Some had even visa waivers and were prohibited from working. And we had some people who overstayed their visas. But there was definitely no mass influx of illegal workers in there. Now, I'm very curious to see how this is going to affect people voting for her for this 12th congressional district. Will it hurt her or will it help her chances? But it is definitely a risky move having an ICE raid on a huge facility like Hyundai in Georgia, because Georgia got the biggest investment from any country ever.
So there were 452 illegals apprehended at the Hyundai mega plant construction site yesterday near Savannah. And I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE. But it goes beyond just someone working illegally. Let me explain to you. These people are working for slave wages. Some are not getting paid. Some are being trafficked. They send money home to their country.
You didn't save them anything. You got 475 people arrested and thrown into detention. You made their lives infinitely worse. Before I continue, if any of this matters to you, like and follow. Let's call this what it is. It's a textbook white savior complex. You talk about modern day slavery because it lets you play the hero. But if you actually care about exploitation, you know that actions like yours never punish the people at the top. Hyundai made it very clear. None of the detained workers were their direct employees. They were all hired through subcontractors. So when you call ICE, you didn't get the multi-billion-dollar corporation in trouble. You got their victims punished. You targeted the people trying to find a better job than they could get back home. Why not go after the companies that profit from this system? Because that's hard work. Calling ICE on the vulnerable, it's easy. You claim you were saving them. Saving them from what? A bad job? Now, thanks to you, they're in an ICE detention facility facing deportation. You didn't end their exploitation. You just made the US government final exploiter. You aren't a hero. You're just a tool that powerful people use to clean up their messes. Let me know.
Breaking news. We have a good relationship with Korea. The raid at the Hyundai factory won't affect our relationship. So we're gonna read some comments from the Korean news website. You dumb. It's like a school bully beat the shit out of the victim and shouting after we have a good friendship. They really say they have some power, so he lift us, drop us, beat us, now suing us. They don't care about how hurt and betrayed we feel. They think of us as something to be used for. I'm worried, angry, and my pride is hurt even though I have nothing to do with it. I wonder how the family must feel. All the company should pull out the investment from America. The Americans who enters Korea with a tourist visa and teaching English, we should chain them up. Only if he was issuing the work visa as promised. He's talking nonsense. There's no other low-class thug like him. He's ripping off the whole world except he's frozen when it comes to China or Russia. World's #1 disliked person. Cancel all investment and return home immediately. It seems like playing devil is fun for him. Those American imperialist, racist, far-right demons need to be eradicated. Dog is barking. It seems like they're playing games. Boycott the tariff negotiations. It'll be better to use that money to cover the losses and stay out of it. The US who elected such a person as a president, or Korea who elected our own president, are the same. The only answer is withdrawal. They need to feel the fire dropping on their feet to finally come to their senses. They do politics like business, and they dream of being a dictatorship. He's the worst monster to have appeared on Earth in the 21st century. He may be even worse than Hitler. Unbelievable shit talker. You can't trust what he says. There will be no more investment in the US. They will even drastically reduce what they already have in there. They should apologize to the American voters because now the whole world know they are scammers. So yeah, these are some of the reactions from Korean netizens. Anyway, Korean government is sending their own plane to take all of the Korean nationals safely home. And they use the highest respected tone to talk about the 300 people that are detained. So you can already tell how serious they're taking this. And all the companies beside Hyundai now is announcing that there will be no more business trip to America for a while. I'll update more after Wednesday. I feel like there will be more news after everyone returns home. So follow for more.
Those of you harassing me over this whole raid at the Hyundai plant don't realize how excruciatingly funny you are trying to harass me. Okay, for one, I got signed up to go to a Mormon baptism. I got signed up to sponsor an LGBTQ parade in Atlanta. I got asked to sign up for life insurance. I got signed up for an anti-racism course. And, you know, it was really sad that the way y'all make your living is getting paid by Craigslist to harass people. A bunch of basement dwellers. Well, most of y'all don't even live in this state because I have your location and the situation is being monitored. And if you post pictures of my kids and make threats, well, it's going straight to the FBI. So I'm just telling you, you might not want to do that. But I'm sitting over here laughing at how ridiculous y'all are. And don't waste your time with me.
I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE.
So just to be clear, what you're proud of is hundreds of people being ripped out of a Georgia factory in one of the biggest ICE raids in history. 475 people, most of them South Koreans, were detained. And here's the thing. Hyundai already confirmed none of them even worked directly for Hyundai. Hyundai, that's how you pronounce it, by the way. They were subcontractors. Many were here on expired visas, not illegals hiding in the shadows like you're trying to sell. Translation? You didn't even expose some massive criminal conspiracy. You just disrupted lives, families, and jobs, and you're bragging on here online like it's a badge of honor. Maybe instead of clout chasing ICE, you should chase a history book.
The ICE raid at the Hyundai plant and the ripple effect that that's going to have on other industries. So multinational corporations like Hyundai usually send their engineers and their R&D folks over here on a work visa to work in these auto manufacturing plants. This is also typically industry standard in the tech industry as well. Hyundai is a South Korean owned corporation. What happens now is that these multinational corporations are gonna do a risk analysis. They're gonna look at it and they're gonna go, is it worth sending our folks over to the United States with the risk of being deported by ICE, even if they're here legally on a visa? They could decide to pull their business entirely. The South Korean government is pretty concerned about this and they're already looking at ways to mitigate this issue. Other companies from South Korea that operate in the United States are LG and Samsung. Now, Samsung is a big one because they have a lot of projects slated for chip factories to be constructed here in the United States. My husband is a union electrician. He's in the IBEW, and he worked on the construction of one of the Samsung chip factories outside of Austin last year. And when these big corporations want to build new facilities in the United States, they typically use union work to build them. And it's not just the electricians, it's also telecommunications, plumbing, HVAC, drywall, you name it. So if they decide to pull their contracts, that pulls the contract for the IBEW, that pulls the contracts for any other unions that we're going to work on the project. If these other global corporations, just like, Hyundai, start to consider that maybe it's too much of a risk to send their folks here, it's likely they'll pull their business, pull the contract, and those facilities will never get built. And then you've got union workers from all different types of trades who are going to be put out of work because they were banking on those projects to start up. And the jobs report is going to end up looking a lot worse than it already is.
So y'all, apparently ICE is not just looking for black and brown people. They just had the largest single site raid in ICE's 22-year history, and they were looking for South Koreans. Child, if you don't know, so Hyundai makes electric vehicles, and their largest manufacturing plant is right outside of Savannah, Georgia. It's where they make the batteries. Y'all, ICE has been apparently researching this and investigating for months, and went today as a collaborative effort. They had everybody there, y'all. They had the FBI, DEA, ATF, Georgia State Patrol. Of course, ICE was there. I might be missing somebody, but it was all hands on deck. And honestly, when I think about it, with having that many agencies makes me think that there might be a rabbit hole here. There's got to be a little something more to the story. Anywho, the people that were there, they arrested 475 people. Huge. Most of them were from South Korea. They were people who were on visa waivers, so they were not supposed to be working in the U.S., people who had overstayed their visa, and people who were just here illegally. Y'all, they were checking the people's documents on site and rounding the people up. They have the people housed somewhere here in Georgia. I'm not sure exactly where. And they said local news has been reporting about this for over a year because previous employees have been calling to report it. So I guess people were mad that the South Koreans came and took their jobs. The funniest thing to me, y'all, when I was trying to research this, you know who's talking about it the most? Hispanics.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the videos we just played you. You know, when they say the cost of racism is quite high, this is what they mean. This white woman got 400 people she called ICE on 400 people who are working on a plant, and it said that the actual work had not begun. They were actually setting up the factory, which is said to be more difficult than the work that people would be hired to do. So this being said, the cost of racism is high, and they feel like at the plant work has been stalled because of the same. So what do you think about this situation?
Right, because these workers were to train American workers before the plant started operating, right? And rumor has it that these workers were not even there illegally. They were there on a visa work.
And how stupid can people be? I feel like since the internet became popular, people just get on the internet to say whatever before thinking, because after calling ICE on 400 workers who had their work visas, permits, right? They had their permits to work in America. It's not like they were there illegally. Okay, let's just turn this situation around and say, had this been Mexicans, I feel like people have been desensitized to such a place where if it happened to Mexicans, maybe there might have been a little bit of celebration on the internet, but also you understand where it would have been coming from given the history of Mexicans in America. But these are Koreans who had permits to work in the country, and being that the President Trump and the President of Korea had a previous meeting to talk about the work relationship between the two countries, and they were having some sort of agreement, and then this happens. You like, as one of the speakers said here in these videos, who is trying to make Trump look bad, but you ask yourself, at the end of the day, things get done at the president has to oversee everything, and nothing can be done before it goes to the desk, in front of the desk of the president. So this being said, was this a wise decision to take? You know, and America Americans are not happy at this at all, and a lot of them have been calling her out. So if you put aside the fact that she wants to run for office, and then you put into consideration the fact that she wants to do it as a Republican, do you think that people are really going to vote for her, being that this is one way she's affecting the economy of that specific area?
Right. And also my biggest question right now is what political game is being played right now by these two countries? Because as of right now, I don't know, I might be wrong, but these people are looking like political pawns. Until I even ask myself, this company, whom did they piss off that belongs to the 1%? Because like this doesn't make sense at all. But yeah, I do get that it was started by one woman who, like, right now people allege that she looks stupid, and she might be stupid for doing what she did. But what I do love about South Korea, and what everybody can commend the country for, is when they saw how their people were being treated, they said not to our people, and actually their government chartered a plane for them to come and take them there. That it made me wonder, if this was an African country, if these were African people being treated like this, no African president would have sent their personal plane to go get those people. Instead, they'd have let the process of deportation be carried out by the US government. And this actually reminds me of a story. I don't know if it was during the Corona era, but I think it was during that time. There was a couple of students in Asia, and when the pandemic broke out, Uganda actually chartered a plane to go and take its citizens from that Asian country, only for it to reach there. And then the Ugandan citizens started complaining that that plane wasn't taking just any type of citizen, it was only taking important children of politicians.
And that is quite bad, because I feel like also I have respect for the South Korean country, because you're only as good out there, you're only as good as you're treated by your peers, right?
And you're only as good as your weakest link, meaning the very ordinary citizen from your country.
Right. And I feel like sort of you set the pace of how the other people or how the world will treat you. Like I'd say there's a reason why right now Africa doesn't have a say in anything. There's a reason why African citizens are treated anyhowly when they go to other countries. But if you ask yourself, how did America come to be such a respected country or a superpower? Because they used to even play us movies where there's this famous saying they used to like in movies. They say we don't negotiate with terrorists. That already has set a tone for what America is as a country. But we don't negotiate with terrorists, but on the other hand, they would show us how the unconventional ways they would use to go and get their citizens who are in danger in a foreign country, you know. So you're only as good as other people treat you, and you're only as good as you show people, like the expectation you have for people when they're interacting with you. And I feel like South Korea, should they do this, that already has set the tone that people need to respect South Korea and its citizens. And I do hope, like I really do hope that this lives as an example for other countries, you know. Guys, let us know what you think about this episode. We'd like to hear from you, yeah? Because for the normal Americans, to be honest, I'm quite happy that people are speaking up against this. And I was quite a little bit shocked that people were speaking on behalf of South Koreans. But then again, you also have to factor in the fact that they have their work permits and they were not doing anything illegal. They were literally at a company that is legal in the country and was going to create opportunities. You know, for some people, there's some other type of immigrants. When you get news about an immigrant moving into squatting into somebody else's house and they act entitled, they don't want to move when the owner comes to get them out, those are things to get mad about. When you get news about immigrants who come and peddle drugs in your country, those are things to get mad at. When you get people who are doing illegal activities in your country and they happen to be a specific demographic of people, you get mad. But because I feel like South Korea Koreans or Korean American people, they normally don't have a lot against them, and they move into countries the legal way, at least majority of them, and they do what is required of them as the current citizens of that country. They do what is required by law of them. So I feel like that is the main reason why this is even a huge scandal and it blew up. But I don't know, you let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section.
Right, also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.